What's up, guys? Welcome to the Chop It Up Show only on 1:37 p.m. I'm your host, John Henry.
And I'm Brandon Bryant, and we are breaking down business and culture through the entrepreneur lens. Whether that is million-dollar deals or flipping kicks on StockX, we got whatever you need and whatever your hustle may be. What we got today?
Well, what we had was a really hot weekend.
Burner.
100 degrees, back to back. I don't know what you was doing to stay cool. What was you doing?
Apparently I was in Philly looking at some real estate, and we actually sent the buddy I was in real estate with in Philly sent him a tweet and said, "John Henry, where you at? Real estate Saturday."
They was even calling me out, and I was like, "Oh, funny you asked me where I'm at," and I happened to be, well, I'll let the tweet explain it, cleaning doo-doo off the property. It was quite intense. So
Hot shit.
Hot shit. Now you know
Coming in.
what we were dealing with. Hope you guys had a nice weekend. Let's get right into it. You might have heard of a company called Quibi, Quick Bites. They are a new emerging video platform that focuses on premiere content in the 6-minute range. Launched by Katzenberg, who's got a ridiculous track record on the TV side, and Meg Whitman, who's a Silicon Valley CEO. And the reason you might have heard of them is because they raised $1 billion.
A Billy with a B. And if this doesn't say luxury tapas, I don't know what it says. You know those small French restaurants you go to and you spend $80 and you're still not full when you're done? This is basically it. So it's premium, small bite content, and apparently it's focused on millennials. And you know what millennials like to talk about? News. So they just partnered with NBC News to have a morning segment, 6 minutes, and then an evening segment at the same time every single day. This is exciting. They also have, like, Steven Spielberg is doing a horror series that you can only watch after night.
Pretty cool.
And they're doing some other stuff, some stuff like Blood Orange. I forgot what other things they're doing, but this shit's about to be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the standout is, look, we're no stranger to short form. I mean, this might or might not be a short form show right now, but look, what's common in short form is a little bit lower end budgets.
We're in the conference room, by the way. No real set here, guys.
So what these guys decided to do was go out, raise $1 billion, get all their ducks in a row, and they're not launching actually until April 2020, which is why we haven't heard of them.
Right.
And they want to introduce a super high budget, highly produced product that's still short form. I wonder how that's going to affect the landscape, because up until now, anything that's 6 minutes is usually shot DSLR.
Yeah,
what
super
happens
small.
when you have like a feature film, a 6-minute feature film? You know, do you think that we'll gravitate towards that?
I think we will gravitate towards it because we don't have an attention span right now. So if you
facts.
can hit me with something that's a horror story in 6 minutes, if you could put Stranger Things into 6 minutes, by golly, sign me up.
Right. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, look, I'm curious. I'm a little bit skeptical. I think that this might end up being just another platform that's overfunded. You know, you throw in your signature director, Steven Spielberg, and you ring the bells and whistles, and you got yourself another Silicon Valley startup.
Guys, at the end of the day, content is king. If you take anything away from this, content is the way to put your face in front of people who you've never seen before and to tell a story, to build a community. No matter if it is Hulu's still all right. You know what I'm saying? No one's watching it every day, but Hulu still has about 10, 20 million people watching it, or whether it's Netflix or Disney or what have you. But just like continue to tell your story, continue to put it out there, and maybe, just maybe, you get some luxury tablets and some people want to invest in it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Some tablets.
One big thing to watch here, and I'm curious for your guys' thoughts, is this really big gamble on a very specific format that they want you to consume. They're entering the market with a very specific idea of what they think will work. And so it's a gamble. Will it work? Will it not? Is TBD. But I do like that they have a point of view. I do like that they have a clear idea around it's gonna work. They have conviction. And I guess we'll have to wait to 2020 to find out.
And if $1 billion can't get you there, no one's gonna be able to do it.
That's a good point. They have all the resources to be able to pull this off. So the only reason it won't work is because people don't want it, because they definitely got the money.
I got it like an 80-20, 80% chance that it does work, 20% chance it may become Tidal. I don't know. I hope not. I hope not, guys. I hope not. So folks, let us know, would you be interested in premium small bite content that's 6 to 10 minutes? And if so, like, let us know what type of, would you like to see horror movies? Would you like to see sports games? Would you like to see Stranger Things, what have you? Let us know in the comments.
And if we get enough feedback, we might go out there, raise $1 billion our damn selves.
Okay.
And beat them to it.
All right. We're going to get out of this conference room.
All right. Settle down, folks. Settle down. We have some serious news to discuss. Once again, in a classic case of once LeBron does it, I'ma do it too, Russia has found a way to sneak in and snag our faces. Yes, our faces. You've heard of it by now. You've probably used it. You probably regret using it.
And your information is gone.
FaceApp. Tell us about it, B. What's going down here?
First and foremost, this is a great name. This is an MVP if I've ever seen it. It's the most shitty, random name, and you just put it on an app, and once you get one viral person to work on it, everybody works on it. So, FaceApp is a Russian app that actually, if you read the terms and considerations, which no one reads, especially young people under 30, it can use your face, it can use anything, and sell it to anybody who can also use anything for money, period. So LeBron's face will be on billboards.
In fucking Russia.
And they will be making hella money off it, and LeBron can do literally nothing about it.
Guys, the alarming bit for me, so there's a couple of things, right?
Yeah.
One is, holy shit, maybe we should actually start reading terms and conditions, but no one will because
They're too long.
They're too long. Right, so
that's what someone needs to make an app. Someone needs to make an app that makes terms and conditions super simple. There needs to be like a layman's terms app for fucking legal.
And you should be able to like swipe to accept or not, and it's like, do you agree to this?
What does this
not?
mean? What are the fucking
But
red
more
flags?
but more importantly here, we're getting back to this discussion around data. Right? Data. A lot of people, most people, if you ask them, hey, are you comfortable giving up your face? They'll be like, hell no.
Right.
But the moment you give you a nifty app in return, you're like, okay, I'll do it.
It's called a switcheroo.
If you would have asked me 5 years ago if I would give a device my thumbprint, I would be like, dude, you're out of your mind.
Oh, go even further. Face print.
Your face print, I would have been like, dude, get out of here with that, you know,
Eyeballs.
like dystopian shit. But the moment Apple made it really easy for me to log in by just looking at it, I gave it up.
And what did they say? They said, hey guys, this is gonna be making it more secure.
Exactly right. Somehow it's more secure, and somehow it's more. The key word is convenient. So to me, I legitimately feel, and I think we've talked about this on the show, that we will trade our data for convenience. We've seen it happen, and for also apparently for a nifty viral app that you can share with your friends.
Or even to go further, folks. I know we're gonna jump into a little bit more about the app, but like understand convenience. If you can make something convenient for your end consumer, that's much more convenient to any other competitor, you can win off the sheer fact of that. So convenience is like the big takeaway here, that you can level up your business if you make it seamless for your end consumer. And that's like the customer experience and what have you.
I don't know, man. It's pretty freaky. I think it's pretty easy to game the American public. I mean, think about it, dude. We had a foreign. Look, now it might just be some like developers that legitimately just live in Russia and just made this shit. And like, can you imagine how pissed they are? Like, fuck, like we made something that popped and now people are mad just because we're Russian.
Well, all they're gonna do is change the terms and conditions and still put that app out.
The point is, if you create a viral phenomenon, which is really tough to do, but if you do, you can get 150 to 200 million face prints on your app that you can do whatever you please with.
Right.
And like the biggest takeaway for me is watch what people do, not what they say. I think if you ask anyone if they would give up their data, they would say no, but their behavior suggests otherwise. I mean, they're snapping what they eat, what time they go to the bathroom, when you wake up, who you're with, who you're dating.
You're putting your freaking location and everything. Like,
everything.
oh,
yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm at Tao, I'm at, you know, it's like, dude.
I'm turning up.
We're consuming 16 hours a day of peer generated content, the highest ever.
Wowzers.
All right, guys, the takeaway for me here is, look, if you want to crack into a market, you got to find a creative way in. You don't wait in the front of the line.
It is what it is, sweetie. Now, can you step to the back, please?
Right?
You're going through the back door.
Yeah, I mean, look. When you want to get into the club, the front line is for squares. It's too damn long. It's around the corner, right? You can't get in through the side because you don't have money to buy off the guards. So somehow you got to sneak in through the back, underneath the dumpster. You find a way in, and once you're in, you're in. And this is just another example of a way in. Russians wanted 150 million face prints, so they created a nifty app and put a pretty bow on it and shipped it, and that was their penetration into the market.
All because of convenience.
Trojan horse, if you will.
It was a Trojan horse.
It was a
if
Trojan
you will.
horse. Convenience is a Trojan horse overall.
Yeah, I agree. That should be a quote card.
Wow.
Convenience is the Trojan horse.
Wow. Can you say that 3 times?
Convenience is the Trojan horse.
All
All right, guys, in a bit of tragic news,
We hate to bring this to you.
Instagram is getting rid of likes.
Guys, the world is over. I will be putting in my resignation.
I don't know how I'm going to validate myself, my self-esteem, the addiction I feel, or what is it, the endorphins? The endorphin rush I get
Well, I guess I'm moving
when
to
I post a
YouTube.
piece of content and I get immediate feedback. Brandon, what does this mean for the ecosystem?
This means that we have to focus on other metrics because likes were one of the top engagement metrics. But I would say that Instagram has moved away from likes being the top metric like a long time ago.
I agree. I actually don't even give a fuck about likes.
Ooh.
So take that, Instagram.
We care about comments.
I care about shares, number one,
Ooh.
because look, back in the day when socials first started, you used to share everything.
Virality.
But now you only share about things that you feel expresses a part of your identity. So to me, a share is the number one metric.
Importance.
Comments are number two.
I would
and
say
number-
saves. I like saves. Too.
Saves? You like saves?
We can save it now because someone wants to look at that later.
That's a good point.
You can share it, forget about it, even though that is powerful that you shared it to a community. But if you save this, you bookmark this, is that
Bookmark.
important? That important to you.
So I'm gonna
important.
I'm gonna revise. Shares, saves, comments. But look, guys. So look, what is Wall Street Paper gonna do now that Brandon makes the bulk of his bread on branded deals? So if brands now come up to Brandon and say, "Yo, I need you to do another hair loss ad," which he did do. Julian, throw it in there.
Archive, fam. And guys,
So-
it's not a hair loss ad. It's hair
Clarifying.
prevention. It's prevention.
So listen, so the next time a brand comes to Brandon and tries to give him money for a branded post, well, how are you gonna measure the success?
That's a good question, man. I mean, but I think it goes back to what we even just said. Like, it's gonna be shares, it's gonna be saves, it's gonna be comments. But I also think it's just like the quality of the community that you have. Just because I don't have likes anymore doesn't mean that the community that I'm sharing it to isn't valuable, isn't something that's great. Then you also gotta think about the quality of the content. If I can create better quality content than someone who has twice as many followers as me, it still makes sense to work with me because I'm creating better content. So folks, we need to work on our skills.
You know what? I think that's actually a good point that I'm just now thinking of for the first time because of what you said. It almost feels like getting rid of likes gets rid of a vanity metric
Literally about to say that.
and gets you to focus on substance.
Execution, strategy, deployment, like.
Brandon just recently read a business book, and he's just
No, but think
spewing.
about it. But think about it. You have to strategize how you're going to create better content than other folks because it doesn't matter about your likes. You have to just create better content. Some people just push it out because they get good likes. No, I got to create better content because the likes don't matter anymore.
And also, look, look, guys, I hate to break it to you guys, but your favorite influencers buy fucking likes and they buy followers. So I think it's a great opportunity, actually, it's an equalizer to let folks whom are creating substantive material to shine through a little bit more.
Also means diversify, guys. You got to start creating that long form content that can go on YouTube, LinkedIn. You got to go right back to Twitter, get them fingers going, all right? Don't send no crazy Drake or Meek Mill tweets, but put something out there. And then maybe even start writing again a little bit.
Yeah.
Put stuff out on Medium. Go out to meetups, start hosting dinners, start doing that. You gotta get back into the world.
Right.
Leave the cyber world, get fucking back into the world, and get active. Building these small relationships that can be 5 or 10 people is way better than building the 1,000 or 2,000 followers that you have somewhere else. So make sure you have that even balance.
I think that's a great takeaway, and I actually want to know your guys' thoughts on this. Look, in the wake of Instagram removing likes, hopefully you're now incentivized to go out there and build on other platforms. I want to know what's going to be your first platform that you go to. Is it going to be LinkedIn, Medium, Twitter? And if so,
Or something else.
Let us know in the comments and find us on there because we are wherever you want to be
Whoa.
already.
Bam. All right, folks, we love all the comments that y'all keep dropping. We love to hear from you. But we also wanted to let you know that we heard y'all.
That's right. Every week, as usual, we jump in and answer a question in the comments, which means drop your questions in the comments. But today, we have Jarek Ratliff, who says, quote, "Hey guys, great episode. Curious as to how to build a brand that's not targeted to the everyday consumer. For example, what brand are you all building as VCs?" That's a good question. How to build a brand that's not focused on everyday consumers. I think a lot of our listeners potentially are not in B2C businesses, but they're in B2B businesses. So look, for me, it's actually the same shit, right? It's who are you in the market, right? You have to carve a really distinct lane, right? So, who are you? Pick a medium to start in. If you're in the enterprise space, I wouldn't start on Instagram. I would be over-indexing heavy on LinkedIn and podcasts and things where you can assert a little bit more of an authoritative tone. And then I would produce a lot of content. The same thing I do now, but I would just kind of over-index a little bit more on enterprise environments. It's really the same thing. It's just in a different medium.
I guess it's more internal versus outwards, if you will, because you're creating that content to show to people when you get in front of them, but you're not necessarily putting it all out there. Is that correct?
I mean, I'm not sure how anyone else would do it.
Example,
but
like a Slack or like a enterprise business. Like, it's not like Slack has the craziest social media,
right.
But inside they have like, here's why this is a value add. Here's why this is a convenience. Here's why this makes your company much better.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's if you're building a tool that you can market, it kind of depends on what you're doing, but either way, I would be over-indexing heavy on LinkedIn. The professional network that exists there is ridiculous. I mean, I think they have over 200 million professionals on there. That's over half of the US population on LinkedIn. And you can literally type in vice president of insert private equity firm here, find them, click on them and say, hello, how are you? Just wanted to connect. And once they become connected to you, here's the trick, right? Once you have all these people in your funnel, they've opted in to consume whatever you put out. So I think it would be a terrible wasted opportunity if once they're in your funnel, you're not constantly nurturing them.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say on this is, unlike in a business to consumer, it requires less touch points for a consumer to buy from you because typically the price point is a little bit lower. It's like $50, $100, $20, whatever. So that people will spend on a whim. On the enterprise side, like in order for us to close on an investor or whatever, it takes a lot of touch points. It takes a lot of familiarity. It takes a lot of social validation. So I would work to getting articles, PR, and pumping that PR through LinkedIn, constantly nurturing them with articles and content until you get seen as the authority, and eventually people will trust you and buy from you. There you go, guys. How to build an enterprise brand. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know if you use any of the tips. Drop your hot takes below. As usual, guys, it's been fun chopping it up with you. That about does it for today's episode. And until next time, peace. All right.
Enterprise marketing.